Hi everyone, SkaterKek here, and it's time for a review of the new debut album from Kali Uchis, Isolation.
Go and say what you want, you're just a stranger, watching from the bleachers, cause you can't take the danger.
So Kali Uchis has been in the music industry for a few years now. She was mainly brought into popularity by Tyler the Creator and a collaboration with him. Most notably, See You Again on Flower Boy, but she has collaborated with him before that on songs on Cherry Bomb. On this record, Kali brings back a lot of her collaborations with previous artists, e.g. Steve Lacey, again Tyler. Some songs were produced by Dave Satek, some by Thundercat even, Gorillaz, Kevin Parker, who basically is Tame Impala, and a lot of these different collaboration choices bring a lot of different influences and styles to the record. She talks a lot about the music industry, a lot about her life stories and her hard upbringing. She goes into a variety of different topics throughout the whole album and certainly keeps it interesting. She asks all these questions quite early into her career. You must bear in mind that this is her debut record. Her lyrical styles is what makes her interesting and enjoyable, and she makes a lot of references to popular icons as well as bad. And yeah, her lyrics are just clever in lots of different ways. The intro track to the record is a bit of a red herring in a way. It sort of starts out by making the listener feel as if they're listening to a Cafe Del Mar style album. The bass line in the background is very, very good. Not surprising because it's by Thundercat, who is an incredible bassist. After a while of like these chill instrumentals, a beat does kick in, sort of brings it all together. Going into the second track, Miami, it's introduced in Spanish. You know, Kali introduces herself, the artist, and introduces the song name. Quite personal lyrics in this song about her life, fleeing conflict in Colombia. It's sort of about working her way up to the top from little in the first place. Discusses a sort of spontaneous lifestyle, you know, dangerous of sex and money. I come back to referencing icons. She uses the lyrics, "Why would I be Kim? I could be Kanye." I just think that's a great lyric. Midway through the track, in the bridge, Bia Burton, you know, spits heavy bars all over the track, you know, about booze and drugs. It's very, very good collaboration. Third track, Just a Stranger, is all about gold diggers, as expressed in the chorus by the internet's Steve Lacey, who also does a really, really funky bass groove for this track. It really drives a song, as well as a catchy chorus. When I say it talks about gold diggers, it discusses both sides of the story. Kali putting across the point that girls gotta eat. You know, using the lyrics, when bellies are hungry but there ain't no money, you get it and don't care how. Romeo of the Brockhampton group also worked on this track in production. Flight 22's lyrics are about infatuation, doing anything for someone, you know, this whole concept of getting on a plane without knowing the destination just because they're with that person. After that track we have Your Teeth in My Neck. The drums on this track are probably my favourite on the whole record. They are quite funky, you know, there's a lot of drive to the beat that makes the track really pounding. There is a very well placed change of pace halfway through the song as well, which I like to shake things up. And during this track, Kali asks what she does music for. Again, she's asking these questions about herself and, you know, sort of existential stuff really early in her career, and it's just why I enjoy her so much as an artist. Tyrants, featuring Georgia Smith, is up next. Kali said herself, it's about power struggles, both in a bigger picture and a smaller one, so like in politics versus in a relationship. She quotes, "The last thing you want is someone trying to involve themselves in your world. You just want someone that's not going to be trying to take control of you all the time." And she asked this sort of trustworthy question, you know, asking, if I gave you power, would you take it out? Asking if they can trust her to treat her correctly and, you know, the way she should be treated as a woman. Following on from that, Dead to Me, one of the highlights of the album for me personally, sort of about the concept of blocking someone out who you don't like, someone who's obsessed with you as mentioned in the lyrics, pretending they don't exist and wanting to move on from away from them. You're dead to me, why can't I be dead to you too? There's a lot of funky sort of poppy synths on this, quite a radio track, but still an enjoyable one at that. Least favourite track on the album follows on from that. Nuestro Planeta, Our Planet in Spanish. It's another one of these tracks that I just hate and I just can't get into. You know, the most overused Latin style, the god-awful drum beat that is just plaguing modern radio and pop at the minute. The lyrics are in Spanish. They sort of lose my interest, mainly because I have to look up the translation to understand the meaning of the song. If you do choose to translate the lyrics, basically you get the meaning of seeing someone in a different light, someone that probably you went out with, way back, and now seeing how they've changed, but ultimately you know that some part of them is still with you. There's a featuring of a Spanish artist, Raycon, on this track. He sort of does a bit of a collaboration, a few verses in this. Not much to be said about it. My favourite track is up next, In My Dreams, featuring Damon Albarn from Gorillaz. It was basically a Gorillaz song, but they gave it to Kali, and she does the vocals on this, and there's like a little feature of Damon Albarn on here as well. Kali's voice is what really brings the song together, and like, I couldn't imagine 2D singing this. She works well on it. Good collaboration. She has collaborated with Gorillaz before on Humans in She's My Collar. Then we come to an interlude, and there are 2 on the record. There's just not much to be said about it. They're sort of there. I wouldn't take them away from the album, to be honest, but, you know, it's a nice change of pace, and some like an old-style album structure as well. Another big collaboration song after that, with Kevin Parker of Tame Impala, who I said earlier basically is Tame Impala, multi-instrumentalist, does all the producing, does all the instrumentals on this track. There's a lot of trippy synths, dreamy vocals from Kali as well. I feel really bad saying that I like these tracks so much, because the ones that I like the most are not really as songs necessarily, but as I said on the previous track, like, I couldn't imagine these songs being on the respective artist's album. Like, I couldn't see this song being on Currents, and I couldn't see In My Dreams being on Now Now or Human. They do work as her songs in the end, and the song boldly discusses in the lyrics about young prostitution, and yeah, the risky business of it in some families that are desperate for money. Daddy said he needed money, so he put her on the street. She had only just turned 13, got a family to feed. It's like a big responsibility to place on someone's shoulders at such a young age, and not really a world you want your younger daughter in. So after another interlude, we get to probably the highest part in the album, and another one of my favourites, After the Storm. Introducing this track is legendary funk god Bootsy Collins of Parliament. In the intro, it references Flower Boy's song, See You Again, quoting lyrics, I wonder if you look both ways before you cross my mind. That was a collaboration between Kali and Tyler, and Tyler actually features on this track as well. Tyler's part is just great. Just great. He's only short, but he comes in. Tyler's always good with rhymes and what have you. You know, references his album Flower Boy directly. You can't argue with him when he mentions this beautiful masterpiece that last year saw. The lyrics, if you need a hero, just look in the mirror, are quite self-empowering. It discusses this whole scenario of, like, when you fall on hard times, ain't nobody gonna get you out of it but you, so you just gotta power through it. You know, the sun comes out after the storm, hence the title. Just quite an optimistic one, quite a catchy chorus as well. Very funky, sprinkled with each collaborator's artist, and just, you know, it's that perfect team of Tyler and Kali that just brings us on together as well. I have to give credit to the next track, Feel Like a Fool, as quite an underrated one. It maybe didn't resonate with me as much, but there are elements of it to be appreciated. There's a lot of interesting timing, the lyrics are really good as well, but it's just like, I find it hard when remembering the album to remember this song and much about it, and it sort of, for me, is a lesser song. Still an underrated one though, I'm sure somebody else could appreciate it more than me. It's a difficult one for me, I guess. The down-tempo closer Killer is another song that I struggle to remember as well, unfortunately. The lyrics are still about Kali's rough upbringing, but she still keeps it interesting, speaking about dodgy relationships with boys and her family, her dad. It wasn't exactly the best way to close the album. For me, the album was really ended with After the Storm. The other two tracks are sort of just there, and this is why there's this whole argument about, like, song order on an album is what really helps its success as well. And realistically, I can't really say it finishes as strongly as it starts, the album, because of this structure. Nevertheless, I'm still feeling very happy with the outcome of Kali's first album. As I said, she still keeps it interesting throughout the album with the lyrical topics. Musically, it's diverse. Tempo changes, you know, there's even interludes as well. I'm feeling probably a strong 7.5 to a light 8 on this record, and I definitely recommend that you check it out. There's a lot of different influences on this, a lot of brilliant collaborations and producers, but, you know, you just gotta make your mind up yourself. Take a listen, let me know your thoughts, and yeah, just look forward to some more reviews. I have got a lot more albums lined up from this year, and I'll be getting around to them soon. So yeah, I hope to see you in the next video. See ya!